Hey guys, Jake Knuppel here with Mortgage Nerds, and we have
Pam Gustafson from Mortgage Nerds.
Absolutely. We want to talk about buyers' expectations of kind of what we have for a borrower at this point, right? We'll have a list here. So we got top 10 that we've come up with. Number 1, go ahead.
Once you're pre-approved, if you're buying, keep your loan officer informed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're looking at a specific property and the taxes might be a little higher than what you had initially talked about, that could affect the debt ratio.
Because DTI is super tight, right?
Absolutely.
If we're maxing somebody out, it could be very tight. Taxes play a big role in that. Obviously, homeowners insurance, you don't know that, but we can estimate that, obviously.
Absolutely.
But it just plays a role. So call us and really talk about specifically what house you're looking at, and we can give you a monthly payment at that point.
Correct.
Number 2, don't quit your job during a transaction. Who would think that we'd have to talk about this? But it happens, right? And be forthcoming with it, because maybe something does happen, or you're getting a raise or just a different position.
Right.
We want to know and just be informed at that point.
Right. You just have a conversation. The other thing, because if you're currently a salaried or an hourly position, and then you switch to a commission or something like that, that can really have
a big
impact on your pre-approval.
Absolutely.
Where is your down payment coming from? Your funds for closing? Are you waiting for a tax return, or just saving up money as you go, or a gift? Because when we run the automated underwriting approval, we have to put it in the system correctly, so it knows you're getting
it reads it where those funds are coming from. If it's your funds, or if gift funds, or tax returns, those are obviously going to go in your bank account. But we just want to know those numbers so we can kind of see what you have for down payment at that point. Number 4, avoid new inquiries on your credit report. We talk about this often, but don't take out a furniture loan. No. Don't go to Target and have them open up a card just because it's 20% off, or Kohl's for that matter. Right. That's a big factor as far as having that hit on your credit report, because then we have to explain more paperwork. It might drop your credit score. There's a lot of different factors.
It's hard too, because if you're deep into the transaction and there's an inquiry and you opened a card but you don't have a statement or anything yet, that can be a real pain.
Because we need that.
Right. Because they want to know, is there going to be new debt that, again, could affect that ratio or whatever the program is. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Get your documents back to the loan officer or your processor, whatever they request, in a timely manner. Typically, like 24 to 48 hours, I would say, is a good gauge.
Yeah. If it's something simple, if it's a ID or just a DocuSign email that we send over, try to do it same day if possible.
Correct.
Because that really helps us out as a loan officer or the lender itself to really get those back in underwriting at that point. Number 6, keep making all your current monthly payments. I think this kind of comes more into play with refi.
Right.
In general, just with making your mortgage payment, make sure that you continuously make that mortgage payment.
Yes.
Because you can't miss it. That's going to affect a lot of different avenues of it.
Or if you're selling your current home and, a closing
doesn't match up.
Right. And all of a sudden it's like, well, we're closing, towards the end of the month and all my mortgage payoff will get there. Yeah.
Just pay it, because you'll get those funds back.
Exactly. Avoid depositing large amounts of cash into your bank account.
Yeah.
Talk to us on what's basically allowable based on the transaction. If you have a average balance of 500 and then all of a sudden there's 5,000 in there, the underwriter's
it's going to be an issue.
Right, absolutely.
Especially if it's cash.
Yes.
We don't want any large cash deposits, or because we have to source that. Really, that's the biggest factor of sourcing everything at that point.
Correct.
Number 8, when you pay your earnest money, say you have a accepted offer, you're paying earnest money, 1, don't make it cash.
No, and your realtor shouldn't accept it.
No,
if
they
you're
shouldn't.
trying to give cash,
or the title company, for that matter. But number 2, always try to give us a copy of that check too, just for documentation reasons at that point.
Definitely inform your loan officer if you're planning on taking a vacation or leaving the country or something like that during the transaction.
Yeah.
Because, if you're going
kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is. If you're going to Mexico or something and you need a DocuSign and you can't be called, or, it's very important to let us know that. It's not a big deal, but it's just, it could delay.
Right, absolutely. So. Number 10, and this is something that it's really not it's more of an expectation of a lender or loan officer at this point of don't be afraid to ask questions, right? Because if you don't understand something, maybe we didn't do a good enough job explaining it to you, and we can explain it in a different way at that point. So don't feel in any way that any question is dumb.
No, not at all.
I think that's one of the biggest things, that keep asking questions. We want to educate people and empower people throughout this transaction.
Exactly.
So we just really want to make you informed at that point.
We don't want people to walk out and say, I have no clue what we just
happened,
did or whatever.
Numbers or a program or how it affects certain things. We want to be able to explain that to you in a manner of where you can understand it, right?
Definitely.
Don't forget, guys, mortgages are complex.
Let mortgage nerds give you the answers that you need.